What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Car Thoughts. So today we're going to be talking about the top 12 most attainable dream cars that you guys can realistically get within a couple of years of hard work. And be sure to stick to the end because I'm sure you guys will be surprised that I put the last one on this list. But first, now, coming in at number 1, we have the 2015 BMW M4. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are fans of this car. You can get this car for around $50,000. I've seen some even go below that. And they have around 425 horsepower from the factory. And this car is really good at combining performance with looks, also a little bit of reliability. And you can either get it in the manual transmission or the automatic transmission. You can actually get a lot of power out of these cars, and there's so many different aftermarket parts. There's a huge community that's surrounded with it, but it is definitely attainable. Now, if we're talking about the newer M4s that are 100K plus, those might be a little bit harder to get. And my personal opinion on these cars is that they look great, they have a lot of power, but honestly, they don't really sound all that good. I think it's acquired taste for the sound of the exhaust, but this car is a realistic goal that you guys can shoot for. Now, coming in at number 2, we have the 2020 C8 Corvette. This thing practically comes with 500 horsepower, it has a 0 to 60 of 2.9 seconds, and it looks like a supercar. And in terms of looks, power, and reliability all in one, this is going to be one of the best bangs for your buck. I've seen them go for as low as $60,000 with around 30 to 40,000 miles, and they sound absolutely amazing. And because the ZR1 and the Z06 are starting to sell more, the prices of the C8 Stingray are starting to go down, and I'm starting to see them a lot more. And although I don't really consider this car a supercar, it definitely has supercar capabilities and looks. Now, coming in at number 3, we have the 2009 Audi R8. This car comes with 420 horsepower, and if you're the type of guy that wants to get a supercar for literally $50,000 to $60,000, a legit supercar classic, then there you go. Some even come with a gated manual, and you get that naturally aspirated V8, or if you're lucky, you can find the V10 version. And the V10 version actually has the same exact motor that you see in the Lamborghini Huracan. And I do think that the first gen Audi R8 is going to go up in value just because they simply don't make them anymore. And I also love the rarity factor of these cars. You never see them on the road. I've probably seen newer R8s a lot more than the older ones. Now, coming in at number 4, we have the 2020 Toyota Supra MK5. So this car is sort of a double-edged sword in terms of the people that like this car and the people that don't like this car. Everyone loves to make jokes about it, saying it's a BMW, oh, it brakes, it's a fake Supra. But honestly, for what you can get the car for around 50K, it's a really big bang for your buck. It comes with 382 horsepower from the factory. If you get the 3.0 liter, which comes with the B58 motor, which is a BMW motor, which is one of the most reliable motors from BMW, and you can get a lot of power out of it with just a couple of modifications and a tune. And the looks of this car is very unique and distinct from a lot of other ones, and it's almost up to par with supercar looks. And in my opinion, it's one of the best sounding BMW motors ever created. And because it has a B58 motor, there are tons and tons of aftermarket parts and a huge community and tons of forums on how to work on these cars. Now, coming in at number 5, we have the infamous Dodge Hellcat, which you can get for around $50,000. Now, this car comes with 700 horsepower from the factory, and it is supercharged. You can either get the Challenger or the Dodge Charger Hellcat. And for some reason, this is a really big and idolized car in the rap community. I'm not sure as to why, but people will literally die for these cars trying to get one. And I do think that these cars are really cool. They have tons of power, they sound amazing, and they can burn some tires. The only issue that you would see with this car is that people love to steal it, and that's because they make them really easy to steal, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me. But like for me, I'd probably take a Dodge Charger Hellcat. I love the sedan, but I would always be looking over my shoulder everywhere that I went, and because of that, it's not really worth me getting. It'll probably stay in the garage most of the time. Now, coming in at number 6, we have the 2020 Mercedes C63 AMG. You can find these for around 60K, and they come with 500 horsepower, and they're a turbocharged V8. The looks on this car are absolutely phenomenal. The interior is amazing and standard for AMG cars. And one of my most favorite features of this car is not just the sound, but also the front end of the car. The headlights look absolutely amazing. And because it is a AMG car, nothing can really beat that V8 noise. I love the fact that AMGs have a very distinct V8 compared to a lot of other car brands. And you also don't really see them on the road that often, so that makes them pretty unique. Now, coming in at number 7, we have a pretty slept-on car, and that's the 2018 Lexus LC500. These things literally look like a spaceship on the road. They have UFO interiors, it looks insane, and they make around 470 72 horsepower, and you can get them for around 50 to 60K. And although these aren't really that fast in terms of what you're getting for how much you pay, they're more of like a gentleman's car that has a decent amount of power, has amazing looks, and amazing reliability. And they sound really good too. That distinct noise is the same noise that you hear from the RCF, the GSF, and the ISF. Now, would I get one? I'm in my 2015 RCF. I used to want one, but in terms of the performance, it's kind of lacking for what you pay, and I would rather get a C8 Corvette. But you Lexus fanatics can roast me down in the comment section, I don't care. Now, coming in at number 8, we have the 2011 Nissan GTR. Now, this car comes with 500 horsepower from the factory, and it is infamous. The R35 GTR is a dream car of tons and tons of people. And what I love about it is that it's perfectly attainable. You can get them for around $50,000 to $60,000 depending on the mileage, and it's a lot more realistic than you saying, oh, well, I want to go get an R34 GTR, which casually costs $200,000 for whatever reason, just because the internet decided to ruin it and hype it up so much. But you can get tons and tons of power out of these cars. They look great, the interior isn't that bad, and you can make a track day weapon out of this thing. And the fact that they are kind of overhyped kind of ruined the car for me, but I'm sure this car holds a special place in a lot of your hearts still to this day. Now, coming in at number 9, we have the 2014 Porsche 911. I'm sure a lot of you guys are Porsche fanatics out there. I personally love the GT3 and the GT3 RS, but if you wanted to get something that looks similar to it, that has amazing performance and something that can carve up some mountain roads, then here you go. Now, it has only around 350 horsepower, and you can find them for around 60 to maybe 70K, but you also have to understand that this car is not that heavy, and it's pretty much a go-kart. Now, coming in at number 10, we have the 2022 Cadillac CT5 V Blackwing. And man, that name is such a mouthful, but here's exactly why I put this car on this list. It comes with a V8 that is a supercharged LS motor, and you can get them in a manual transmission, and it's probably the best sounding car on this list, and it casually has 668 horsepower. I do think that this car gets pretty slept on, because if you see it on the road, if the average person sees it on the road, they're not going to think that there's that much power under the hood. It's pretty much the modern day 4-door Corvette, and you can find them from anywhere from 60 to 80K. So if you want to have a Corvette Z06 power, all while taking the kids to school and having a fun night out, there you go. Now, coming in at number 11, we have the 2016 Mercedes AMG GTS. And I think this is one of the best looking cars on this list, and it almost looks like an AMG GTR. You can find them for around 65 to 70K, and they come with 500 horsepower. And for that price range, you're getting supercar looks, pretty close to supercar performance, and the interior and front end of these cars look phenomenal. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've seen these cars on the back of tow trucks, but are you guys really surprised? It is a Mercedes, it is a German car, so, but hey, if you have $65,000 to $70,000 to spend on this type of car, then you probably have some money set aside to work on it if need be. And out of all the other cars on this list, I would probably put this right under the C8 in terms of cars that I want to get next. Now, finally, at number 12, you guys are probably going to hate me for this, but we have the Tesla Plaid. This thing comes with 1,000 horsepower, and you can get it for 60 grand. In terms of performance, in terms of sleeper looks, there's nothing better that you can get for that price range. Now, I'm not really an electric car guy, but if you're the type of person that has a family that wants to send a ton of people to Gapplebee's, literally everybody on the road to Gapplebee's, you want a track day weapon, you want a car that looks kind of fast, you want 4 doors, you can get all that for $60,000. You literally don't have to buy another car ever again, because I feel like any other car that you get after this will sort of just feel slow and sluggish. And the interior of these cars looks so futuristic. The steering wheel looks cool, the seats look awesome. Not really my thing, but I feel like it should be on this list. So other than that, you guys, those are the top 12 most attainable dream cars that you guys can get, and if you work hard enough, probably within a couple of years. If you have any suggestions of cars that I've probably missed out on, or other video ideas, be sure to comment them down below. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.